You know, that's what you need is when things aren't going well, you need a cheerleader to go, you're doing great, quit worrying about it, you're gonna be fine. And that's what I always needed.
I know that I can inspire someone so that they don't ever have to question their worth. And they will go in knowing that they got this. And not only do they got this, I'm gonna stretch my hand and I'm gonna bring you along with me.
I think we should always be looking at ourselves and where we are and where we'd like to be and what's going to satisfy us and challenge us and move us forward.
One of the things I've come to learn is that you need to be a model, a role model. And so it's hard to do that from the background when no one sees you.
I was growing up in China, the so-called socialism country. I was told from a very young age, women upheld half of the sky. So it is really, there is a big promotion for gender.
Strong, smart, and bold. And we have to embody it if we're truly going to really do all that we possibly can in this world. And so again, moving away from self and start thinking about you're stepping into a bigger space or you're speaking up because it's not just for you, it's for those that come behind you.
I mean, you need to own your own success. You know, you read about men get promoted on potential and women get promoted on performance. And so it's up to you to make sure that everyone understands what your potential is.
Sometimes people don't know what they don't know, right? And so I spend a lot of time trying to educate people about the experiences of others.
I think when we try to conform too much to whatever it is we think we need to be, we lose a little piece of ourselves and we lose a little piece of what makes us uniquely us. And ultimately, that's what's gonna help you shine. So, you know, be true to yourself. Don't be afraid to show who you are and don't be afraid to be bold.
I think we as women are trained to not brag and not be boisterous about what we do and how we do it and our success. And in our lives, it's always taking that backseat and supporting others and lifting others.
I think it is harder for women to take personal pride in what they've done. I think maybe we're conditioned a lot to pass that on to other people, to help uplift other people. I think we're naturally nurturing.
I have no problem singing the praises of everyone else, and I will gladly tell you all the wonderful things that my team has done and that others have done, but it's very hard for me to talk about what I've done. And I see and hear that from other women as well, that we don't know how to sing our own praises without feeling like we're being boastful or we're being overly confident in our ability. So it's something that you learn over time, that you have to get over that a little bit.
Every move in my career, people didn't put me in a seat because I'm a diversity squared. I'm a female, I'm also people of color. I think that helps because I feel like I've earned everything, therefore I feel comfortable to own it.
Sometimes we feel like we have to play down a little bit of ourselves to make others feel better. And I totally feel that we need to be empowered to speak our truth, be ourselves, own that success.
Talk about the success and why it's good for all women to be able to talk about their successes. And when we're all doing well, then it makes it easier for someone else want to come into that space.
we are beyond worthy. And that is something that not only the progression in my career has taught, but mentors like many of the women who are being honored on this very day have shown me. I know that what I bring to the table is valuable. I know that I can inspire someone so that they don't ever have to question their worth.
A woman won't apply for a job unless she meets 100% of the criteria, and men assume that they meet the criteria. And we need to broaden our reach sometimes. I think we are sometimes we hold ourselves back.
I tell my students all the time, you can't keep yourself out of the game, right? Like, you may not get the job, but it shouldn't be because you didn't apply.
One piece of advice I would give to young women today is that you don't have to have a career if that's not what you want to do. But if you want to do it, go for something that you have passion for. Because we spend a lot of time in the workforce, and if it's not something you're really passionate about, it's really, no matter how much money you make, it's not really worth it, in my opinion.
You know, I think there's sort of this myth of being like a superwoman per se, but you can do the things that you want to do and be successful. And that's what I want them to know. I can work hard, I can be successful in the workplace, but I can also have a great family and we can have a great life at home as well.
I say follow your passion. I know that's not what we always used to hear. It used to be go find the money, but follow your passion and do it early and continue to fail many times. If you fail many times, you'll fail forward and you'll fail fast and you'll fail right into what you're supposed to be doing.
I had to rebuild myself many times, just moving to different countries, come to this country with 2 suitcases, to today has a beautiful family, a wonderful 10-year-old son, and leading this group of 80 people around the globe, doing something I really enjoy. I have to rebuild myself because my role continued to change.
I had a lot of responsibility. I was trying to figure out why I was so struggling to be happy. And luckily, they sent us off to psychological associates and did this full battery of psychological evaluations. Doctor comes out and she's like, "Are you unhappy?" And I was like, "Tell me more about that." And she said, "You're such an entrepreneur." That was kind of that aha moment that, oh, that's why I feel like I'm in a friction all the time with what I want to do versus what I am doing. It took a while to go through that transition and be okay with it, and realize it's kind of like a death. You lost a part of yourself and you had to recreate it. And I learned the joys of running a business and doing new things. So I think, that was great for me because I was able to tap into who I am better and what made me happy.
Every day we rebuild. Once you close your eyes, you want to basically, or I do every night, know that you've done your best. But if you have not accomplished all the things that you could have, it's time to rebuild that next day.
Rebuilding is part of life, right? I mean, we're always rebuilding because there's always something that's changed in our environment, in our life, in our family, in our work, and you've got to adapt to those changes, and you've got to figure out how to carry on, and it's never going to be the same. It's going to be different. So to me, rebuilding is just growth.
Well, this is certainly a rebranding, selling an 80-year-old family electrical contracting business to a competitor in town, and joining forces is a huge rebrand for us. It was the right thing to do with the right partners at the right time, and it's the right thing for the longevity of the business.
There were people I'd worked with from the very beginning who I think still saw me as that little green bean lawyer who came out of law school barely knowing how to find the law library and didn't understand or appreciate that I actually was now capable of running a deal on my own, right? Versus being, shepherded through every single aspect of it. So you do have to work, I think, to rebrand yourself, especially among people who've known you for a long time.
So I had worked as an actuarial analyst for a long time. I didn't have passion for that particular role. And so I thought, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? And so I thought, I want to be a teacher. So I did a graduate program that got me certified. And then I began teaching secondary mathematics. Loved it. I felt it was a reframing who I was.
Probably reimagining is what I feel most connected to, because there have been multiple times throughout my career where I've had to kind of reimagine where I'd like to be or what I'd like to do. So, I did consulting, I did health administration, and I'm also doing academia right now. I did academia as an academic purely, and now I'm in academia as an administrator. So multiple times I've had to figure out, okay, how am I going to change this up? What am I going to do to move forward?
I was trying to figure out how we could make some positive changes within law schools. And I ultimately wrote a petition to the American Bar Association. My petition asked them to mandate a bias and cultural competency course for first-year law students. They didn't give me what I wanted, but we're a step closer. So effective with the next class of 2023, for all accredited law schools, law students will have to have 2 educational experiences in bias, cross-cultural competency, and in racism in order to graduate from law school.
We have a way of reimagining if we're just sitting still for a minute to say, how can we do something differently and how can we do it better?
I would really just say we have to believe in humanity. If you keep doing the right things, keep doing the good things will happen to you. It may not be now, it may not be the way we imagine, but it will happen.
Flow your flow, right? And it really is important because you always get stuff in your ear that can throw you off track, and you really have to be focused and grounded and go for what you want and not really what someone else is pushing you into.
I think life is a journey, and you learn something from everything you do. So I haven't loved every job I've had, but every job I've had has given me something that has helped to make me the person I am today.
People undervalue how important it is to walk into a space and see another woman, to walk into a space, see another woman of color who has achieved numerous things, and right then and there, that could be me.
It doesn't matter where you came from, you can still achieve. And we're all evidence of that.